Across Australia, and stress levels are sky high. Nearly a third of students will suffer anxiety or depression, convinced that their results will have an irreversible effect on their futures. Is that how our young people should be taught to see it? Some educators say the way we're doing things is outdated. Tracy Bowden's been taking a look at what's going on.
For more than 200,000 students across Australia, it all leads to this: the exams many think will determine their future.
The more they feel that there's pressure on them from parents or for teachers or schools to succeed, that really increases student stress levels.
This year's really tumultuous because you have exams kind of every couple of weeks.
Millie Coulthart is doing everything she can to prepare herself for her final exams.
Acupuncture has helped me. You walk in there feeling stressed and worried, and you walk out feeling so calm and so tranquil.
The acupuncture helps to calm their mind, helps them to be more at ease, so less anxiety, and they're able to retain more of the information when they're studying.
She's aiming for high marks to give her more options at university.
With each exam block to build up, you start to panic, you're lying awake at night, trying to fall asleep, and your mind's just going, study, study.
They have upset tummies, they feel nauseous, they have headaches, and they just feel constant fatigue and mental fatigue.
Georgia Muxlow wants to study physiotherapy, and for that she'll need good marks.
It just makes me really anxious to think that we won't have another shot after this, and it's the last opportunity to make a difference. So if I screw up, there's no redos, and that scares me.
Ainsley Ramsbottom is also worried.
I know that I do better in assignment-based tasks, so because sometimes I get into an exam and I get really nervous, and sometimes I'll have a mental, a blank of what I might say.
With stress so overwhelming for so many students, some educators are asking if external exams are the best way to judge a student's ability.
After 13 years of schooling, you're tested over a period of a couple of weeks in 3-hour chunks using paper and pencil. I would argue that perhaps there are different ways to look at kids' performance that are beyond narrow and sometimes very simplistic judgments.
What's at stake here is the Australian Tertiary Admission Rank, or ATAR. This is the mark which determines university entry. Once it all hinged on exam performance, but over the years assessment has played an increasing role.
I think that there would be a widespread support for the dropping of the ATAR system, where students are basically reduced to a single number, and we continually say to students, don't be defined by your ATAR, but we inevitably do.
Victoria's Templestowe College takes a different approach. Students here need to opt in if they want an ATAR, and are encouraged to take on activities they're passionate about.
We've developed a senior program that looks at alternative ways that students can get into university and can still complete their senior qualifications without the level of pressure that conventional exams introduce.
If I was at a normal school, I would have actually probably dropped out in year 10, to be honest.
Liam Evangelista moved away from traditional subjects like physics and English and took up projects that interest him, like this, developing a motorised skateboard.
I'm excited to get up every single morning and come to school. I just have so much fun every single day and feel like I'm really going somewhere, which I never felt like before.
Just in the last week, Templestowe College was announced as one of the 100 most innovative education projects around the world, and it really is amazing what students can achieve when they're given control of their own education.
The theory tells us that now the focus needs to be on the individual, what they can do, what they can't do, and have rich, challenging tasks for them. We need a totally new model.
As a former New South Wales Education Minister, Adrian Pickerley believes the existing model is fine.
No test is without some element of stress, but for parents, it's a teachable moment for your children as well. Teaching children to handle stress, to be more resilient.
Some parents and students watching this would be saying you clearly have no idea what this year has been like for them.
I'm not saying it's not stressful, but I'm saying the stress of the actual Year 12, the structure of it, assessments, exams, hasn't changed much in the last 20 years. And in fact, getting into university and training, there are more opportunities than there ever have been.
Shana Clement eventually found her own opportunity, but not in a conventional way.
After being at school for all those years, working to that one goal, getting a good result in the HSC, I really felt like it was all over without that.
Shana was overwhelmed by the pressures and dropped out of school halfway through Year 12. How did you feel about yourself at that time?
Like a failure. That was, I just felt like I'd failed. I felt like I'd failed at life. I contemplated suicide after I had left school. And really the only thing that kept me here was understanding what that would do to my parents. So that's the sort of pressure that I felt during the HSC year.
She never anticipated where life would take her. 6 years after dropping out of school, she started university. She's now a barrister.
I still pinch myself from time to time when I put on my wig and robes, when I think about where I came from and what my life was as opposed to what it is now.
For those about to start the exams, one of the key messages from psychologists is that obsessive studying isn't the key to a good result.
So trying to study 12 hours a day, every day in the lead up to the exams is not going to work. So we know students can suffer burnout, where they just can't take on any more information. It's really important that students then stop studying and they go and do some stuff that's fun, all right? Because fun reduces stress.
Are you at the point now where you just want to get going with these exams?
Definitely. I kind of don't want them to start, but I also want them to just be over with.
I think I just take, 3 deep breaths before I go in and relax and just know that you can only do your best.
Recognise that the system is flawed. Try your best anyway and be happy with what you have.
Try not to worry too much about getting that mark, because there will be other opportunities, and just take every opportunity that comes up. Something will lead to something else, and you might end up somewhere you didn't expect to be, but it'll be a path worth taking.
Tracy Bowden